They shall grow not old, as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun, and in the morning, we will remember them.
Matt, thanks very much for speaking to us today. Welcome back to SNTTV. We're just going to talk about the game.
Yep.
Stourbridge today. It's an unfortunate result, a bit of a shame. But what's your thoughts on today's game so far?
I've just said to the boys inside that obviously I think you're right, disappointing. We've shown again little patches in there when we showed some good football play. I think it was patches when we did have some good play but didn't actually really hurt the goalkeeper, hurt their opposition. And I think, if I'm being honest, I think you know, it's one of those games where, for example, if you come out with a draw, probably would have been a fair result. But if you let 3 goals in, then you're always going to be up against it, and we sometimes do that, shoot yourself in the foot a little bit. But I'm really disappointed for the lads because they showed a lot of everything I asked for them, being honest, character, front foot, trying to be attack-minded. I just thought today we weren't as bright in that final third as we have been and could be. And just as a team, to let 3 goals in is going to be tough, and you will set yourself a high challenge. So, but I can't knock them for their work ethic and their honesty today.
Yeah. It was. I mean, it's a bit unfortunate, really, going. Losing those couple of goals. Almost after going ahead, which I think then you've got a little bit of a mountain to climb. But the boys really dug in hard.
Yeah.
So did your tactics change at all when we went behind at that point, or did you keep things the same?
Yeah, I mean, we obviously came out to go on the front foot, which we did that, and they responded and scored within minutes, which is great. We've then gone behind within minutes, switching off at set piece, which we've already spoke about at half time but that happens, it's mistakes, And then we've been hit, counter-suckered a couple of times there, and I think what's happened is we've all lost our heads a little bit, me included. So we've calmed down a little bit, we've got back on the ball, we've kept it as it is, we thought about changing it. I looked at maybe changing the shape a little bit, but actually as we kind of calmed down after the kind of irateness and getting rattled, we got back on the ball again and did well. It wasn't until later on that we decided to kind of go, we need to be a bit more forward thinking here, and we kind of released one of our sitters to go higher. And then towards the end, obviously when we got the second especially, just before that, we've gone through at the back, pushed both our fullbacks as wide players, and I told the top 3 to play like number 9s and try and see if we can get something. So possibly looking back, maybe should have done it 5 minutes earlier, but when it's 3-1, 3-2, there's always 1 goal potentially in it, and what you don't want to do is kill yourself too early, but it's one of those ones, so yeah.
I think certainly with Tom, clattering against the crossbar as well, things could be so different. I think you're right. Absolutely, the draw probably felt like the right result at the end of the day. So it was a little bit unfortunate. I mean, I suppose luck was just a little bit against us a little bit today, perhaps.
Yeah, it's one of those things. I mean, they're a good side. I mean, we knew that prior coming in here. They don't have their record they've got, and that league is tough and strong. So they're a good side. Yeah. And yes, ifs and bits, and they might say the same at times. But I think with Meach hitting the crossbar, the penalty isn't a penalty. I don't care what anyone says. We've got it. I'm sure we might have it on tape, but it is what it is. That doesn't decide the game. So there's bits of things gone against us today, but like in anything, you have to make your own luck, and also there's things you can control and can't control. We can control our marking from the corners and things like that. We can control looking after the ball better and little bits like that, and that was where probably today the detail wasn't exactly what we needed at times. But I won't criticise, and I can't knock them, because now for 11, 12, 13 games they've been fantastic, and even though it's disappointing, it's great. It's not great when we lost, don't get me wrong, but it's great that we can actually go and compete against a good side and come away this disappointed, because actually we should have definitely at least drawn that. So it shows we are going in the right direction. It's not as if you've watched a game today where we've kind of been battered 3-1, backs against the walls, and we've had to rely on an own goal to get something. We have given it a go, and I still don't think we were at full tilt today either. So.
I mean, talking a little bit about the penalty and the sort of refereeing today, what was your opinion on that particular decision and the sort of refereeing today per se?
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those ones. I've just spoken inside. The one thing I'll always do, I go nuts out there sometimes because it's a passion and embraced in it, and I say my piece at times, and I try and always be respectful and what have you. But and I always go afterwards to the referee at the end. I haven't seen him yet, to be fair, because he's shut off. Just say, look, sorry, it is what it is, handshakes, because referees don't cost games. You've got 90 minutes to do that. They don't help sometimes in that penalty. unless I watch it back later, and I'm proven definitely, but I've seen it. Matty Heine was in front of here, and their manager smiled and laughed. So it doesn't help our situation.
Yeah.
Referees and linos will never ever win. You know, they've got the hardest job in the world, and it's getting tougher and tougher and tougher.
Yeah.
And whatever the result at the end of the game, they'll be right. So I do have a lot of respect for them. I think sometimes when it's a hot-headed game like that, it's a lot riding on it, and emotions are flowing. You've got people shouting and barking. It's tough for them. So I always respect that, but I just think that sometimes when big decisions come into place, you know, you've got to try and make them right.
Yeah.
When they're 50-50, okay, fair enough. But when they're 80-20,
Yeah.
you know, you've got to make them right. Especially then we're down the other end. If you're going from that one, why is Dion running 100 mile an hour towards goal and being chopped out 25 yards from goal? Because he's going to an angle. Well, you know, so it's just consistency. But again, I'm not blaming him. He hasn't cost us a game. He hasn't let 3 goals in and hasn't scored more for us. So it's not him, but it doesn't help. And they don't get they're never going to win. So we have to respect that. But I just think that in that situation, it's quite disappointing because it didn't help for our cause today. But it definitely isn't the reason why we lost.
I mean, I suppose now looking forward to Tuesday evening, Biggleswade Town at home. How do you pick the guys up now following that? I mean, they've had a little bit of a knock today, but you know, obviously back straight into the coalface on Tuesday. How do you pick the team up?
I don't think we have to do too much, and I do mean that. We had a little chat in there. I don't think we're going to have to do too much to pick them up because I think they are brave and they're bold, and they do actually realise that we're a good side right now. You know, we're not going to be, we're not top 5. We have no, we're not in a situation to earn a right to turn up and just beat someone. We have to give and work hard. We have to correct our mistakes. We've just been positive out there and explained to them, listen, this A, B and C didn't work today. We need to really nail home on that massively, but not to overthink it. And just for them to recognise and understand how good they have been. And if they show that tempo, energy, honesty and character, which I think they are delivering quite regularly now, then we've got the tools to hurt teams. So as long as we turn up with the right attitude, which I'm very very confident we will do, then I will back us going into that game to put on a performance, and our performances of late have 9 times out of 10 given us points and wins. So
current form is pretty strong, isn't it?
Exactly. So I don't think it's a case of having to kind of pick them up massively. I'll be very disappointed if we had to, because that means that they haven't believed in how good they have been, and it means that it will show a soft centre to us, which we want to try and distill. And I think it is slowly removing from the club and the squad, which is okay. We're going to get beat. If we're going to get beat, we'll go down fighting, and then we won't worry about it. We'll dust up our shoulders, and as long as we've performed, we can walk in the bar and talk to fans and people and say we gave everything, you know, apologies, and we'll correct it on Tuesday. Then great. And I think that's a bit of the mentality we have got at the moment in time. So I'll be very disappointed. We have to really boost them up for Tuesday's game. I do think that they'll come honest, full of energy, looking to make amends for today almost.
Great stuff. All right, wonderful.
Lovely.
Thanks for spending some time with us today, Matt. We look forward to seeing you on Tuesday evening.
Anytime.
All right, great stuff.
Thanks
Thank you.
Cheers,
Thanks
guys.
a lot.